Hello and welcome back, everyone. So, tell you a little story here. I have a ridiculous amount of RCs and tons of projects that I just keep piling up, this being one of them. And I'm really just haven't, I've had new release burnout. There's just really nothing out there that's been coming out that's making me go, oh man, I need to spend my money on that. I think it's just there's just so much out there, and I've already got so much. It's nothing's looking appealing. So I wanted to start getting in on some of these projects. This Fox being one of them. But before we get back to that, let me just wide angle this thing out and take a quick spin around the room, and you'll see just the beginning of the madness I'm working with. I also have a garage and a bunch of stuff hitting up in the attic too. Alright, it might get a little blurry being inside, but okay, this is one wall. You can see a whole bunch of vintage and re-released Tamiya and Kyosho, hard body stuff, bunch of radios down there and other projects, a couple of 3D printers, and then it goes across here, and I got the tanks up there, a bunch of other vintage projects, well, Warhammer stuff. Airplanes on the ceiling. And of course, we got the workbench there. You're getting the sneak peek preview of where all that stuff's filmed at. On B-17, we got a MiG over here, a couple of RC-10s. This is the shelf I drive from the most here recently. There's stuff hidden under there. Then it's down through here. And there's my battery cabinet. Oh, the big 6S Traxxas boat. More airplanes, more airplanes. Oh, don't forget about these guys hidden down here. And this is just what I have in this room. That airplane's got a a 2-meter wingspan, so it's quite a large airplane. All this stuff. More planes, and don't forget about these guys. And then the worst, oh man, here it is, the Closet of Doom. There is stuff piled in there like you would not believe. So I've got plenty of projects around here that I can work on, so... Oh, look at this crazy guy I painted up. So there's plenty of stuff around here to work on, so I'm just going to get started on this. So back to the current project at hand, so we can get one of the things laying around here up and running that needs to get put together. First, we'll take Chopper out of the way. I don't know if any of your One Piece fans can't get enough of it. So, we got the buggy back here, and I picked up these Nova Fox wheels and tires off of eBay, and they are vintage. I thought they'd look really good on there with that gold color. And the tires seem to be still plenty rubbery and in decent shape. And the back wheels. So for the adapters, I think it takes the short ones, but I had these laying around and they do fit in the wheel just fine. But I'm not sure if the axle stub's long enough to make it through. I'll have to check that later. If not, I think I might have some shorter ones in a box somewhere maybe. But both of those, so I got all those wheels and tires off of eBay. And then I just noticed some of the things right off the bat that I knew were broken, like this up here. I still might need to get some pieces here, but... So I got this to my replacement bag. And then I got the buggy, and you're not going to believe this. So this is a vintage Tamiya Fox, and it is seeing some rough use. But I found this thing at a show. I mean, look, that tells you the age, the style of cable that's on that. So, I got this at a show for $20. It was in a tub with a bunch of other RC stuff. I asked the guy, like, what do you want for this? He said, how about $20? I said, oh, absolutely, here you go, and I took it. Put it on a shelf, been there ever since. So I've been slowly gathering up pieces, and this is going to be it's going to be a slow rebuild, because I'm going to have to take everything apart and clean it, and I'm going to have to replace things and still track some parts down. Some parts I'm having an issue with. Like didn't see any. I need the front sway bar. I didn't see that when I was looking for it, but I'm going to keep looking. And it probably needs a few other parts too. I'll have to figure out what electronics I'm going to run at it. If the motor's decent, I'll probably just run that motor for now. But what I'm going to do is get up a little bit closer, pull the body off of it, kind of like an overhead view, and then see what we're working with and show you where I'm starting. Well, let's remove the shell. The shell's not in horrible shape. I'm going to be reusing it. I'm not going to be doing anything to it other than cleaning it up and making sure it's structurally sound. I noticed this was broken, so I'll probably put some washers down through there and take care of that. And then we get to the chassis, and everything's pretty straightforward from there. Look at that. Dust proof. So it says. And looking at the motor. It's a Mubachi silver can, and man, there is just so much grease and grime tucked up through here. This is definitely a... I'll give you an example. That's that's what we're dealing with down inside this stuff. So it's super dirty. I don't know the condition of these axle CVs or anything yet. From what I can tell, it's probably got a Futaba servo in there. The chassis is not horrible. Most of the parts on here don't look too terrible. I've got a pretty large collection of vintage Tamiyas. As you pan around there, I've got an original Avante, an original Lunchbox, an original Frog, 2 original Blackfoots, and it got a Man Ray. I got a bunch of vintage ones. Sonic Fighter, my Thundershot. And I like getting the vintage ones and bringing them back to life. So this one's been waiting for that. So this is just kind of an introduction. You can see what I'm working with. Looking for comments, for ideas. I'm going to clean it up and try to get it back to original. Like there could be some glue here. I'll have to inspect that further and see if there's any real cracks or anything. But I'm sure this video has already dwelled on long enough. Now that's just an introduction, showing you what I'm working with, and I'll start getting the steps out. This is going to be kind of a slow build process. It's not going to be a release a video every day type of one. Well, if you like this type of thing, stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. I hope to catch you on the next video, and I hope you have a great day.